All right, bro, we're ready, y'all.
Ow. Go.
There we go. So I don't even know who's in the playoffs right now. Like, who's all in the mix and who's playing tomorrow? Because I'm pretty sure that's like the games I'm trying to check out.
All right, well,
like the first one's to start.
Well, I know the first game, Golden State and San Antonio.
Ooh, okay.
I got Golden State taking that one.
So that means San Antonio is like really low in the ranks right now. But like,
well, the seeding for the West was like a little bit weird because like all the teams that are from 3 to 8, they all like the only thing that differentiates them is one win.
Really?
Yeah. So the West was like really stacked. So
wow.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, any team can upset, but it really wouldn't be an upset unless it's like either like probably like Golden State losing or like Houston, one of the like main powerhouse teams.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard might play. He's been out for a long time. I know that for a fact. And I think if he plays, because I know Golden State doesn't have Steph Curry, it may be a little bit harder, but I think
they don't got Steph Curry for real.
No, he's not playing the whole first round.
Wow. Why is that? Oh, because
he's hurt.
He's hurt.
If I remember correctly,
he's hurt. Okay.
Yeah, he's hurt. Yeah, so I know that one will be a pretty tough one because I mean, without like your star point guard, you know, they're just gonna have to rely on KD a lot. But
for sure.
I think that one's gonna go to 6 games, and I think they're gonna win it.
Really?
I think so.
I don't think it's going 6 games.
You think it's on 5?
I think San Antonio might come out in the first one, and then Golden State's like, okay, let's not lose anymore.
Right.
I think it's about it. I mean,
well, I don't know. The only reason I say that they'll probably go to 6 is because out of the last 14 games, I know Golden State lost 10 of them. So they've been playing really bad without Steph. And it could be a number of things. It could be either they're just bored and they're ready for the playoffs to start. And, you know, once the playoffs comes, you know, they'll turn it on because, you know, it's the regular season. They really can't do anything. Houston was already way ahead of them.
Right.
But, yeah, I know that. And I don't know. We'll see.
Houston's at number 1 right now. I got the ranks pulled up.
Yeah. I can't remember who they're playing. They're actually playing Minnesota.
Minnesota, okay.
They just got Jimmy Butler back.
Oh, word?
Yeah, they just got Jimmy Butler back. And they were actually doing pretty good. They actually had, like, a game against the Nuggets Wednesday to get the last spot in the playoffs. So they had to win that game in order to be in. And they won. That game actually went to overtime. It was actually like a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Brandon's favorite player, Jamal Murray, was in there. I mean,
oh, man.
No, but yeah, that one I think is gonna be a pretty easy sweep for them.
Yeah,
that one should be pretty easy.
And that's a good thing about getting high ranked in a playoff system. You know what I'm saying? You always, if you're number 1, number 2, you're always getting one of them last teams that just snuck in there.
Yeah.
And that you know that more chances than likely you're gonna smash them. Like you're gonna whoop them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean I guess that's a good thing about the West is like they're fighting the whole time. So you know that momentum could drag into the playoffs and then playing against Houston. It could at least make it competitive, but you know we obviously know that Houston's more than likely to take that one.
Yeah.
But it just gives it like a competitive edge and just I guess makes it feel like the playoffs instead of like, you know, hey, this is the first round, I ain't gonna watch it.
Okay, on the East side though, I'm over here looking at the rankings. I'm like, hold on, who's number 1, my dude? Like Toronto's number 1, my dude?
Like is trash.
What? What is happening right now?
The East is trash. Oh man. It's so weird over there.
Honestly, I don't want to watch any East games.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody does really. Unless LeBron's
I don't want to watch that. I think it's
gonna
only get okay once it gets to the second round.
Second round?
I think that's when it's gonna start getting a little bit better. But from the first rounds, I mean, you kind of have your given teams that are probably going to more than likely advance. So you got Cavs are more than likely going to advance.
It's supposed to be the first 4.
Yeah.
That's how it was in the East every year. Pretty much the first 4 stay, and then that's who fights it out every year.
Yeah.
First 4. Whoever's the first 4 right now, that's who's going to win.
See, and that's the thing too is like on the East side, like how does the East end up with like a couple subpar good teams, you know what I'm saying? But the West is over there stacked. What's up with that?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you had so many contenders in the West that could have got the playoff spot. But if you throw those teams into the East, they'll get a playoff spot.
I think what he's saying is like, how does that happen? Like, how does the East end up so bad?
Yeah, and the West end up so good.
It's been like that for years.
For real?
It's been like that for years. And I'm not gonna say everybody's scared of LeBron.
When Jordan was on the East side, they had Larry at Boston, who was, you know what I'm saying, Jordan on the
you had a lot of people in the East that would actually compete for that. And I think that, because even the West back in the day was like that too. The West was still fighting and stuff. Obviously it had their great teams like the Rockets with the Olajuwon and stuff.
Hey.
But then in the East, you had fighters too. So I don't know what transpired from then to now. Obviously the game has changed a lot. But I don't know what's going on with the East and like how it's just so like one-sided. Like you already know who's going to get to the second round off that.
Right.
And it's not by many games. It's not like it's going to be, it's going to be a close one. It's going to be, no, they're going to the next round. There's no ifs, ands, and buts.
Yeah, they already won.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens when LeBron leaves the East. I think he's leaving the East this coming off season. And I hope it changes up things in the East. I hope that, everything, I guess, kind of goes back to normal.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, the West is just going to get stacked again. If he does leave and, decides to go to like LA or something like that, the West is going to be even more stacked. It's going to be more competition.
But think about this though, LeBron having a lifetime contract with Nike, bro. Like, imagine if he had a lifetime contract with Nike, bro. Like, I'm getting everything Nike, son. You know
so they don't mess it up like Allen Iverson did. That boy
he had one?
He had one Reebok.
What?
I didn't know that stuff. And
kind
of took it away.
Oh, for sure.
But that's not the.
I'm sure there's certain clauses in their contract that say, "Hey, man, if you
that's exactly what it was. He had a whole bunch of clauses, and he was just like, I guess, not abiding by them. And they're like, okay, well, you know what, let's go ahead.
I mean, it's hard to tell a person like that kind of like what to do or how to live because they always just move on their own. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're them because they make the. You know what I'm saying? That's how they
got their rep.
Right, because if they were trying to follow some rules or, I get it, like the law and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not trying to be out here like an outlaw or nothing like that. But like, on some like little petty type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, just little stuff. But I don't know.
All right, well, let's go ahead and finish this playoff one. Because there's still some great games left.
Like,
okay.
Hey, did the Suns make it?
Oh, no, man.
I see him at number 15. I'm just like,
dead last.
Damn.
Dead last in the whole
NBA.
Dead last in the whole NBA.
Hey,
that's something they got a lottery pick.
You know what I'm saying? Get out of the hole.
Well, I know Devin Booker. He actually came out with a statement. I was like, I'm tired of this. Talking about how he's tired of my little self. So we'll see. I mean, he's like, I'm going to do everything in my power to, get us to the playoffs, something like that. So hopefully they land a good lottery pick, but.
I'll be leaves.
Yeah.
It's a death sentence being there, bro. It's
Low-key.
a death sentence. Little organization like that. You get drafted to the Suns, or you get drafted to like Sacramento, or you get drafted to Brooklyn.
Well, see, like, it's weird, though. It's like there's so much potential that the players have, and once they leave Phoenix or something like that, they end up prospering. And what is it internally that's messing up? And they haven't figured it out. It's like year after year, it's the same old story. They're racing to get the lottery pick.
It might be that, and then also it might be something in the management realm, like not management, but just in the whole office type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes what I notice on teams and basically like a office or like they call it like the front office or whatever. That's just like a team.
Yeah, front office.
Like they do the business and all the paperwork. And so what I noticed from teams, bro, is like you could have like one person on a team that's like just like a negative Nancy, or not even a negative Nancy, but just someone who always kind of is a cynic. You know what I'm saying? They kind of see the bad thing instead of the good thing.
Yeah.
If that person isn't aligned with the team goal, then something like that organization will kind of deteriorate or like go down a little bit because of that one person. It's like the old saying that goes, you're only as strong as your weakest link. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it is within a team, because that's how it has to be over there on the Suns, bro. Like they need somebody new, bro, from top to bottom, bro. It just needs to be a whole new setup over there. Because
they fired their coach.
I'm talking about from I'm talking about from the owners,
like
owner
the GMs
all the
and
way
stuff.
down.
All the way down.
Yeah.
Good look at that.
Exactly.
Yeah, those.
I mean, you can't get rid of the owner,
Unless you buy him out.
but that's not getting rid of him. That's him choosing to leave.
True, because he'll end up.
That's just him selling it.
Yeah, but you could, maneuver somebody. Could
Well,
maneuver
I'm not sure if the Suns even have like a GM. Normally, like if the owner is not making the moves, it's the GM, whoever they hire on. So
Okay.
I don't know for sure if the Suns have a GM or not, but if they do, I don't think it should be the same person.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously not making the right moves.
For real.
All the people that they have there have so much potential. Like even last year, they recorded the youngest starting lineup to ever play in the NBA.
Right.
It's like you have so many young guys, but like where's the potential going with them?
At the same time, too, if you ever look at like the ages of players when they actually like blow up, like it's not young. It's not like Devin Booker is like what?
He's only 21.
Oh, he's 21.
He's
Yeah, he's
21.
21.
Oh, I thought, right?
He's been in the league for like 2 years already.
So like 21, right? If you look like even Steph Curry, like Steph Curry didn't get good.
He didn't get good until like year 4 or 5, and that's when he was actually like making a name for himself.
Year 4 or 5 win though, because he did make a name for himself over there at what college did he go to?
Well,
Davidson.
in his college recruiting, he wasn't like a person that you go after. So,
Right. I mean, he wasn't.
Like Brandon was saying.
All-American type.
Yeah, like Brandon was saying, it didn't take him a long time until he started developing. But at that point, I think that's where I think like coaching. I'm not sure if their coaching changed or anything like that, but I know that it took him a while to basically develop.
But that's what I'm trying to get at. Like unless you're a once in a generation type player like LeBron, you don't come in doing that.
Right.
Like if you look at when players like really hitting that prime spot, it's not when they're like 20. It's not. It's not before 25.
Like 27.
It's 25 to 30 is when like those are the years and those dudes are putting in work.
Okay.
And if you really think about like 25 to 30, like so with the Suns, I mean like it's hard. It's gonna be hard to when an organization like that so bad. It's hard to get someone, even if they are good like Devin Booker, to stick with them.
Right.
In those later
They want to
years.
win.
So that's how you're saying earlier, like how come they leave and get good? Probably because they do their rookie contract, which is like 6 years, and they leave and they're like, okay, well, they happen to hit their peak once they leave. Like they're hitting their peak year.
I see what you're saying. I get it. They're like acclimated to the NBA now that they have like real good feet in the game and just still working on their game every day, but even with higher level players than what they were. You know what I'm saying? That's really what makes them better is them playing with these other high level players.
I think people like getting too ahead of themselves sometimes when they're like rookies. Oh, this rookie's a bust. Like, man, this dude's like 19.
Yeah,
this is his first season. Like, people are not good in their first season. Like, I know some people are used to like. Not even Kobe was good in his first few seasons.
It's not like prime players that are like
one in generation, like generational players, are the ones that have been out of high school or like they're from college. People don't understand that it takes like it's going to take time.
Yeah.
Like give someone like a minimum of 4 or 5 years. Obviously, they
How long has
David
been in the league for? He's been in the league for what, 3?
Way longer.
Okay, yeah. See,
and he's been in the league. I think since like even we started high school. I think like 2010 was his rookie year.
Okay.
He's been in the league for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and he was. Dame Lillard wasn't killing right away. People don't do it like that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it all comes down to like the development that the team has. Because I mean, you look at Golden State. I mean, obviously that's a once in a like. That's never going to really happen again. But they developed the players from the rookie seasons till now. So it's like
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like,
how
they were able to like. One, I think that's luck.
2000.
Yeah, always definitely luck. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
But at the same time, they were able to keep those people like for that time span. Like they kept those people. They're like, okay, let's get Steph. All right, cool, Steph. Like Steph's good. They had a choice to leave, give Steph away and keep Monte. All right, let's keep Steph. He's good. All right, they drafted Clay. All right, okay, damn, we're doing pretty good. They're not the best, but we can develop them, and then they are able to keep that core people to that age. I bet you if you look up right now, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all over 25 probably.
So I guess you could probably say this, that it's about the morale that you give the players and like basically like do you like are the Suns doing a bad job at boosting their players, like giving them like good energy feels like, hey, like
Steph Curry.
You're developing, you'll be fine, we're gonna keep progressing and stuff like that. Like could you say that that's like a flaw within the Suns? Because they obviously can't keep people, so it's like that people people are getting upset and then you want to leave. Like Eric Bledsoe, I don't want to be here. You know, tweet that. I don't want to be here. Then you get traded.
Clay's 28, so they're all over 25.
Yes, I'm telling you, 25 and over is when it starts like hitting. And of course, that's not to say that like if someone's like boo-boo from day one and not showing any progress, you have to show progress, but you're not going to be like handling dudes until you're older, bro.
And James Harden's 28 too, by the way.
Yeah, I guarantee you. If you try to look at like the top 10 players in the league, they're all over that. They are in that sweet spot of 25 to 30.
LeBron's up there.
KD up there.
You know what it is too? I think it's just like the whole progression, bro. I think it's just them growing as a player, as a man, as a, you know what I mean? It's just.
But it sounds crazy because to us, like, you know, like you're like, oh, when I turn 18, like you're a man, but it's different playing against these dudes, like a man. These dudes are like real grown ass dudes who have a crazier workout regimen than anybody who's listening. Like, you know, who would see this like way crazier workout regimen, crazy diet. And
straight discipline.
And on top of that, you don't learn how to do a lot of that stuff in your first couple of years. You're like, I just got out of college. First year trying to get used to like even the game
and the money.
Second year, okay, I kind of got an idea. Let me try to implement something I learned from that year.
Yeah.
Third year, okay, like I really have a better idea. Like it's just gonna take time.
Yeah.
And I feel like people really do not understand.
Yeah. You're probably right. And yeah, I mean,
like that new Lonzo Ball, obviously a lot of it had to do with his dad, but they were like first game, he bust.
Yeah,
bust.
That's dirty.
Yeah, that's dirty.
And what bothered me too was that when he'd have these like almost triple double games, they would be comparing his stats to like LeBron. It's like give the kid a chance to develop. You know, he's still young. You know, he's entering like even like Lonzo Ball. Like me and Brandon have many talks about like Lonzo Ball. Like I think he's okay. I think he's a good player. I think he'll be good eventually. But as of right now, you're going into an organization that doesn't have. They just lost their greatest player of all time, Kobe Bryant. So it's like they're still trying to get
that boy in a way.
And that's the problem with like all these people. I guess like giving Lonzo shade. They're trying to find the next Kobe Bryant when you're not going to get a Kobe Bryant. It's not going to happen.
It's like maybe in 20 years, 30 years maybe, but.
Yeah, so I think you know, I don't like
him with Lonzo. I think if he hardens up, bro, if people really just come at him, you know what I mean, he gets the best of people without toughing them up. And once he gets a little more tough, bro,
he's had that attention all year because of his dad.
It's not about the attention though.
No, I'm saying like the physicality and stuff like that. People have been coming at him because of what his dad is saying.
That's good.
But that's been all year. Like even like Patrick Beverley has been like very like even from like the first game that he played, like he was all up on him, like all up on him.
But I feel like at the same time with that, like, bro, he's never gonna be that.
No,
have you like see?
It's just not his character.
You don't see him like
I've seen him.
No, but I watch like.
You gotta watch like
his family has shows. I watch like I keep up on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he will never be that dude.
Really?
Yeah, their dad's really like
so. His dad is real loud. Lonzo like trying to picture like you saying that. Oh, once Brandon gets like once he's like in it, like you know tough. Like no, like I'm laid back.
That's you.
Somebody's gonna say whatever they want to say. I'm gonna be like.
His personality cemented on him.
Lonzo be like that.
Yeah, he's stuck.
Like even when Patrick Beverley knocked him down, he's got up and walked away. His teammates got in a fight. He looked at him, walked the other direction. He will never ever be like he's gonna be that dude who. All right, I mean, you can say what you want, but not just on the court.
Right, I'm not even talking like a trash talk sense, but just in a basketball sense. Like if you think about it, just like, I don't know, to me right now, he plays really soft. Like, to me, he don't really have him plays that just like, when he's like, he might get the ball, you know, little pump fake and then just really put it down the rim. You know what I'm saying? But not on the rim like that, but just make an aggressive move to the basket to show like you really want it. Like you ain't gotta do dunk and all that. But to me, it's that aggression that is just kind of missing from his game right now. I feel like once he's, you know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. Like that might be his personality, but people change. People change though. Not everybody, but you know, some people change. And you know, it is.
I mean, that's like the most aggressive person. Like even when you say that, like there's, I don't know. Like say. I'm thinking like in my mind, like I'm trying to think of other point guard besides like, you know, maybe like John, Dame, and like Westbrook. I know because those are just like small. Those are like slashing type like guards. Like I don't know, like say like a Steph Curry. Like Steph Curry making plays like that. Like Steph Curry, you don't see Steph Curry get this hard crossing and get to the basket. Like,
but he's a
that's
shooter.
not
It's all about the.
Okay, yeah, that's
like Lonzo, like
It's
he
just-
can really get to the basket like that.
Okay.
It's not his.
But I'm saying people used to get on him about a shot, so I figure, I mean, if you're not a shot person, then you got to be able
He's
to.
a passer, bro.
Oh, he's a
You
passer.
see, people are always gonna get on somebody that doesn't fit their description.
Yeah,
right.
Like, especially with like expectations you have, if that person doesn't fulfill whatever it is they want,
Then
then they're just gonna trash talk him and they're gonna come up with all these negatives. Going beside like his play style. His play style is he's not a selfish player. He is definitely not a selfish player. He'll go get boards. He'll get all those little tiny stats, then rather than get points. Like,
I'd rather have a selfish person on my team, though.
That's him.
Yeah, and that's him. And when all these people are talking about his jump shot, him not, doing whatever he needs to do, he's not being that prototypical point guard like Westbrook or something like that. It's just not his play style.
But definitely what OJ's saying, it is people knock him for that though. That's like, you can look up interviews right now. People are like, oh well, like he's not being aggressive enough, or he's not attacking the basket enough, or he's not making this play. Like there was a perfect example of what Mike's saying that they're gonna knock you no matter what. There was a play against the 76ers, tie game, or like maybe they're down 2. Lonzo makes a crossover, drives basket, makes a kick out to the corner, and Brandon Ingram hits the shot right for the win. They won. Next day, they think, oh, why did Lonzo take the layup? He should have took the layup. They're like, oh, he should have took the layup. He shouldn't have passed the ball. But yet, you make the game-winning play on a pass, but you didn't do this right. So it's like,
that's what I'm saying. People are always trying to knock somebody for that, or just whatever they don't like.
Yeah, and it just goes to show like people want what they can't have. You know what I'm saying? It's like they want that aggressive. Some people want that aggressiveness from him, but they're not going to get it because that's really not him. That's not his play style. I get it.
But I agree with you. I think that once he, develops an inside game, it'll change the dynamic of his play style.
Okay.
But it's not going to be something that's going to happen in one season. That's going to be something that's going to have to be like in 3 seasons or 4 seasons, something like that. Unless you got a deadly shot like Steph Curry, which he doesn't have. So he's going to have to develop something other than his mid-range or his assist, because people are going to start reading that.
Yeah, but I definitely, to an extent, I agree with what OJ says though. But sometimes he'll like have games where the best word is passive. Like he doesn't try to even get in there. So I definitely want to see some plays where he tries it, but I don't want it to be like, man, like, hey, you don't want to go overboard. That's not working for you. Hey, keep doing it. Like
if it's not working, it's not working.
And also, bro, like something that I've noticed too is like sometimes I feel like, and I think it might be more from his upbringing within the basketball world rather than anything else, but it's like I don't feel his enthusiasm and his passion to play the game on the court.
He just shows no emotion.
He's stoic. That's a good way to put it.
He's stoic.
Okay.
All the time.
See, for me, it's like I feel like that gives me extra energy to play the game. Is when I'm out there and I'm I'm enthusiastic and I'm ready.
But you also have those people that. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is like him, but he may feed off your energy. You might be thinking that you're barking loud, but he's gonna show what his play. That's what gives him energy. You doing that?
Okay, and right. It goes vice versa. I see what you're saying.
I think that's kind of how his play style is because he doesn't let anything phase him like at all.
I see.
Talk.
So he's got thick skin, but people don't think he got thick skin.
Yeah, he has thick skin.
He grew up with his dad, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, and brothers too. So.
But he grew up with his
dad. Their dad is
so basically, like if you actually interviews, like his dad's so loud and talks, he's like, I don't need to talk because he's doing all the talking. Like, I'm just
I just do me. I'm just here for the interview.
But like, honestly, like, there's good players who are like that too. Like right off the bat, like Kawhi Leonard. You ever see Kawhi Leonard smile?
You ever heard of him talk?
Bro, Kawhi Leonard's the same way. He would be straight faced. He would make a dunk and just
straight emotion, like just never, like just so relaxed. Like you don't have a great highlight play.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Larry Fitzgerald. Whenever Larry Fitzgerald scores a touchdown, you don't see him celebrating anything like that.
Well, some
you just see him give
teammates.
you just see him give it straight to the ref.
Right. You know what's coming to my mind with that too is Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose used to be the same way.
You can even tell off that game when he hit off the Cavs that turned into a meme
2-3 years ago.
Yeah, and he was just straight face, like no emotion.
And that's what I used to like about him. Him and KD used to be the same way. Like they could make this big play, this game-winning play. Like, they would celebrate a little bit, but they weren't like trash talking. They weren't like hype. It was just like, yeah, I did it.
On to the next.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
And that's kind of how he is. He just win, lose, draw. He's gonna be cool.
I guess we could talk about the gem that the Lakers found in Kyle Kuzma. I don't know if you've ever seen him play.
No, what is that?
Kyle Kuzma is probably
the
they're like most slept on player that they drafted. Like in the summer league, he was going to work.
No,
Brandon Ingram was a top pick though.
Oh yeah,
so Brandon Ingram was the number 2 pick, and then the next year, or was it the next year they got Lonzo?
It was Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, and then Lonzo.
Lonzo's right, but Kyle Kuzma got drafted like number.
I think it was in the 4th round.
Wasn't it Kyle?
Kyle Kuzma, Kyle.
Yeah, this man put on a show.
Kuza or
This man.
Kuzma.
Yeah, Kuzma Kuzma.
For like the draft.
It was drafted in 2017.
Not like what's round
Well,
round 1.
Pick 27. There's only 2 rounds in basketball.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
So pick 27.
So, okay, I have seen
how it works in basketball, bro. If you're not like top 10,
yeah.
Your top 10 has, let's say this, top 10 has expectations. Like, bro, you should probably do something. After top 10, it's like, hey, maybe. I mean,
we'll see how you look in the D League.
Yeah, we'll see how you look in the D League.
Yeah, that's exactly. They go straight there for like development purposes.
And then after that, like, that's when it's like, I mean, we had a draft pick, so we drafted someone.
Yeah, we had to fill the slot.
And then especially once you get past like the first round, it's 0 expectations. You're straight. You're the D League bench, right? So this dude's pick 27 comes out just. So first of all, summer league when he started getting eyes on him. Yeah. Summer league going off.
Okay.
Him and Lonzo killing it.
Okay.
He comes to the league. He was kind of sitting on the bench for a little bit. They started slowly working him in. This dude's going off. Like I don't know what the highest he scored. I don't know.
I think the highest he scored was 32. Oof. And that's a lot for him.
And what does he play? Power forward?
He's small forward.
Small forward. I think he plays some power forward, but I think majority of the work that he does comes off the small.
But basically, what we're trying to get at is that this dude, at his pick, was 0 expectation. It was just like
nobody knew.
It's Lonzo and then the other dude.
Yeah.
But then he came out where it's like this dude was holding his own. He had some of the highest points per game for rookies.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he had more of an impact than Lonzo did this year for them.
Yeah, Lonzo's had a lot of games too.
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma's healthy all season.
Played majority of the games, and bro, like he'd come off the bench scoring. He'd put in some work for them. I mean, granted they lost, but you look at the stats and stuff. You'd be like, man, like he put in work.
Yeah.
I think the only thing with him, it's his impact is scoring. Right? Yeah. And I think he got lucky to come to like a team like the Lakers, because say if he went to like a big team, bro, he wasn't.
They wouldn't give him a chance to score.
He wouldn't have had a chance, so who knows where he would be. Right. He came to a team that is so much like, let's develop these people. Like we don't have much to do. Like, hey, let's try that dude out. Like, we might go make the playoffs anyway.
Right. So you have time to experiment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Lonzo, on the other hand, wasn't a scoring like. I don't remember what he had a good season average though. He want to say he averaged maybe 10, 7, and 7.
Okay.
For his averages.
For this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a long.
Yeah. 10, 7, and 7.
Wait, it's like 16. 16. He had on average is 16 points this season. Who you talking about that?
No, that's Kyle Kuzma. But I was talking about maybe with Lonzo. So he had 16, and he shot 45% from the field.
Yeah,
that's great.
And 6 rebounds. 6 rebounds.
A game?
Yeah.
See, that's
6.3. Now look at Lonzo's.
Yeah, Lonzo. It was really solid what he averaged, but Kyle Kuzma's impact.
This is what I say. It is easier to learn how to score than it is to learn how to rebound and assist. To say say Kyle Kuzma, you're like, hey, bro, like you're really good at scoring. You're only gonna get better. You're a natural scorer. Like people come in natural scorers.
Right.
But we're gonna need to learn how to like rebound a little bit better, learn how to pass the ball. I thought that's gonna be a little harder to do. Like that's more like repetition. Lonzo's already a natural passer and a natural rebounder. Like those are 2 hard things to teach.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's why they kind of compared him so much to Magic, was because Magic could get on them boards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Magic
but that was just something that he had, like just as soon as he came into the league, and he even had that when he was going to. I remember correctly, he went to. He didn't go.
Oh, you talking about Magic?
Yeah, I think he went to Michigan.
No, actually, I think he went to UCLA. Let me check.
The only person I know, like the greatest, was Shaq. that went to UCLA. If I remember correctly.
Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq. Oh, that's LSU. I'm sorry. That's LSU. I'm thinking LSU.
Oh, he went to Michigan State.
Yeah. Oh, Michigan State.
Yeah, Magic went to Michigan State.
But I think that's just something that he had in him. Plus, I think he's like 6 inches taller than Lonzo.
Yeah. What is he? 6'9" or something like that?
3
Okay, 3'8".
Lonzo's 6'4".
He's 6'6".
6'6".
Because Magic's 6'9".
And what's crazy too is that like some of these players can still grow. That's the crazy part. They can still grow. Like
they ain't done growing.
They're 19.
Oh,
Like
19.
19, 20. He just turned 20.
Yeah. Can't even get a drink yet. And that's crazy. He's probably still grow too. So yeah, I mean, they have a lot of potential.
I thought they have potential.
They have a lot of potential, especially even with this next free agency class. The Lakers could come up on some great players and great role models for these young players because they have so much cap space. They have enough to get 2 max players. Basically, in perspective, like they could get LeBron and Paul George if they wanted to.
Because like I'm trying to think of like their roster. There's not too many people you have to worry about keeping really. It's you keep Lonzo, you keep Brandon Ingram, you keep
the players that
you keep Kyle Kuzma, and Kyle Kuzma. All those 3 players are on their rookie contract, so they didn't get paid nothing.
Yeah,
they're on rookie contracts. I think maybe Julius Randle.
A lot of Julius Randle's contracts coming up. So they're gonna have to redo his. But majority of the players on the Lakers are in their rookie contracts.
And so off top, one of the reasons they got Brook Lopez to get rid of him because he's carrying a big contract, but they did that because they can accept the money now, but as soon as the season's over to get free of cap space, his contract's going. They don't renew, and they have whatever money they were paying him is open. So there's a lot of people they can drop as soon as it's done. You keep those. Well, I don't think they're really worried about Julius Randle, even though he did have a really good season. But like Mike told me the other day, it's because like a lot of players have good seasons when it's their
contract year, and then like after that they just
Tristan Thompson
get lazy and they just don't care anymore. Perfect example is DeMarcus Lawrence for the Cowboys.
DeMarcus Lawrence?
Yes, boy, rookie season, first season, and second season was just. It was not good. It wasn't productive. It wasn't something that you've seen out of a first round pick in the NFL. First round picks in the NFL have a lot of potential.
Is that the whole first round?
The whole first round.
Dang.
But in his contract season, which was this past year, boy was leading the league in sacks halfway through the season, was like going off. And, I hope that he can keep that potential up, but, it's just, you get that contract year, like kind of how Julius Randle was in.
Yeah.
Had a great season, but it's like, how do you know you're going to get that the next year? Once he gets his paid,
it's like once we get into all those little like minute details and stuff like that about like money and stuff, like I feel like that has an effect on the game too, because some players, like, to me, once you have that much money, it's like now it's almost like your drive is almost gone. Because you put in all this time, right? I mean, you got what you needed. You don't. Yeah, exactly. You put in all that work to get what you needed. Right. It's like you have no family. To what I'm saying? And I guess that's where it comes into dedication to like whatever it is that you're doing. Right. So like, if you see a player like Julius Randle, like he can get a max. Well, no, he can't get a max contract, but he can get paid a lot. But can you convince him to be like, you know what, take this pay cut, stay with our team, and we're gonna be winners. You can tell already we're gonna be LeBron almost, and that's kind of like how I said way back to our earlier conversations, the morale. Do you put that morale into the players that like, hey, are you with us? Right. And some people might be about the business, and some people might be about the team. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. But I don't know. I'm not in the offices. I don't know how Julius Randle is.
So as far as pay cuts, do you think, as far as NBA and NFL, that which sport is more willing to take pay cuts for the team, or which sport is more like selfish? I'm about the money. I'm about to just go to this trash team. I don't care how bad the team is. I'm about to go play.
I think more NBA is because a perfect example of the only player that I can recall that took a tremendous pay cut is Kevin Durant. He took almost a $10 million pay cut to stay with the Warriors to win. And in the NFL, I feel like you always have quarterbacks renegotiating their contracts.
You said the NBA is more willing.
No, the NBA is more selfish with their players about their money, and the NFL is more lenient in like, hey, I'll negotiate my contract again to get more money for you guys to play. To me, it goes down to the actual individual player, and like when I think about it, I totally think that basketball players are a lot more selfish in their money, and how they make those type of money moves, and not be for the team.
For one, I think basketball players are like cut a little differently as far as football players wise, just because basketball is such
I think it's
almost
an
an individual sport,
Yeah.
but it's really not. And we know it's not an individual sport, but at the same time, it kind of is.
One player can take over.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, like with the basketball players, I always felt like this was just me how I viewed them growing up. You know, I tried to be a basketball player myself one time, but I didn't really practice growing up that much besides at the park, and I never had no real training, so it didn't work out for me. But the thing is like for a basketball player, I think they have, I wouldn't say more ego, but I feel like
they have ego.
Yeah, I feel like they
versus
definitely
football.
have a big, yeah.
Because in I think I agree with you because basketball, you have 5 players on the court versus football. You have a total of 22 people that have to. I wouldn't say communicate. Offense and defense don't have to communicate, but you have to work hand in hand with each other.
Right.
Because,
as a system.
Yeah, as a system. So I think that's just if you play football, like me and you, we played football since we were kids, so we developed, and Brandon too. So we developed that team chemistry early on.
Right.
And with basketball, you have kids that are just like natural scorers, as a little kid. So it's like everybody pays attention to that one kid, and they have all that attention on them.
I think that goes the same way with football though, but it also comes down to like, to me, a football is position, because you can sit there like I can even like side of the ball, because sometimes I feel like defensive people, like sometimes they're selfless, and like, or even a smaller like offensive line, they can be selfless. But then you get that one
star
receiver, but you get that one star wide receiver.
Yeah.
And a star skill position.
Mm-hmm.
I've met some big-headed star skill positions.
But see, and the crazy thing is too, like I agree with you too, and I feel like that's how it's looked on the outside. But if you're inside that locker room, it's on the front line guys.
But to me, even inside the locker room, like I still get that ego-ness from, and that's why
you can tell.
For me, that's why I was kind of glad I kind of got brought up in the football world that I did. And I started in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? I started in the trenches since like I was like first started to basically going into high school almost. You know what I'm saying? But when I was in the trenches, it kind of showed you to be humble, because really, if it wasn't for the linemen, none of this stuff would really be happening. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of novice football watchers and football onlookers, they don't know about the game. Is like the linemen are the real people putting in the work and getting the money.
And that's what I'm saying. The only people that know that are like the people like inside. Well, I wouldn't say insiders, but it's just people that have a good knowledge of the game.
Right.
And in correlation to like the NBA, you don't really get to see that, because little things in basketball you really cannot see them. Like little things like that makes a difference. Like just play call. Let's say Lonzo is at the top of the key, and he calls a play, right? At that point, he makes a decision to either maybe pass it to this person over here, or pass it to the corner route, or not corner route. I'm sorry, the corner 3 or something like that. And that's just a decision that he makes, but you don't see that. You don't see what he's trying to do.
I read. Like, okay, you don't know that he's reading that, or even if someone says a pick, or like there's a hustle thing, like there's just certain stuff that aren't scored up, that aren't going to be shown up on that stat sheet, or someone decided, like LeBron decides, that's not, I won't say audible, but like decides to change something up at the last minute. Like coach calls something, he decides to change it. Like you're, as somebody watching, you're not going to know what's happening. Yeah. Little small stuff you're not going to know. All you see is LeBron made a pass, and you're like, oh dang, like that was a good play call. No, like that what probably wasn't the play. He read this, did this. So there's a lot of small stuff you don't see.
But it's like I said. I mean, like in the NBA, there's not, it's just not. You're not able to see that. So I feel like that's why it's a lot more selfish, because even in NBA too, you have those big old egotistic guys like wide receivers or something like that. Like you have those guys that just grab the attention because they can play. And in the NFL, I guess like I said, it works hand in hand, with one another. So it all depends on the team too. Yeah. Because you could develop that among the people in the NBA, just like they did with Kevin Durant.
The team aspect, or
you could develop like a good morale, like even like Kevin Durant, like hey, if you take a pay cut, you'll stay with the team. That's somebody who's willing to do that, and sometimes you don't always have that in the NBA, but it's rare. But in the NFL, you see it a lot more.
And that's why I feel like a lot of people kind of gravitate towards collegiate athletics and sports rather than the professional ones, because once you get, even in college it is a business, and of course the players should be getting paid for it because of all the billions and billions upon dollars that they create for the schools and things like that. But I digress. But speaking into like why people kind of gravitate towards more collegiate is because they put their soul into it. Like not even their soul.
They have something to play for.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like they got that extra thing. Like they haven't made it yet, so they're still on that.
Yeah.
I'm on that go.
A lot of college players aren't selfish. Like
for sure.
I mean, they really don't have room to be selfish.
So they can't.
You don't really got room to be selfish anyway. But I mean, it's like, you know, it's just that progression from the college to the NBA. It's like, where did this happen? You know, where was it that you became this selfish person?
But at the same time, it just came to me right now when I think about this. You kind of have to, like, I was thinking about how you saying how like college people can't be selfish. You kind of have to earn to be selfish.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, there ain't no, like, dude on a bench be like, oh man, I need to get this money. Like, I mean, if that person is being, like, wants to get paid, it's not because they don't deserve to get paid. I don't know why that came on my mind. That's kind of crazy. I was like, man, like, you can't just be some normal dude trying to ask for some money because you're replaceable.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to be valuable.
You have to actually be valuable.
In an instant, you get replaced too.
And that's what's crazy is like, I don't know if you heard, but I know I told Brandon, but like Mesa, I think it was Phoenix, Scottsdale. They're all their football teams. They're doing away with the football teams because of budget cuts within the
really,
within the community colleges.
I didn't know that. Now Mesa's a really like it's one of the higher programs for like sports in general.
Yeah, that's what was crazy. And now that I think there's only going to be like 6, 7, I think a little more community colleges that still have football, but still it's like
wow,
that's like.
That's an opportunity just getting cut slimmer and slimmer.
Exactly, bro.
It's already hard as it is.
each community college team probably holds about, on average, like 60 players on their roster, on average, but it might be more, might be less. And you take away 6 of those, and that's from the inner city right here. You know what I mean? So that's, let's say, 6 times 6. What's 6 times 6? 36. So that's 3,600 kids, or that's 360 kids. Football players adding that, and we know kind of how football players are wired in a way. You know, if they want to still, you know, put it in the college team or like go to that college level, then you have to have a certain mentality about the game and how you go about your day. But it's like now there's no opportunity for those kids besides at those other schools. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it even, you know, cuts your chances even a lot more slimmer just within your own community.
Right.
When it should be wide open, you know, like you should be able to have the option, you know, hey, I'm going to this school, But it's getting, I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like 6, it was like 5 or 6 community college schools, just, you know, their teams, they did away with their football team. So
that's crazy. Mesa has a lot of players too. A lot of really good players.
Mm-hmm. They had good players coming out of there, bro.
Yeah. I didn't know that. That's insane.
Yeah, man.
Is that like effective like immediately?
Yeah, I think it's this upcoming year, 2018. I think.
Wow.
So I mean, yeah, bro.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's what from the budget cuts?
Yeah, budget cuts from the schools, bro. And that's what sucks too, is like even the arts, bro. Because I remember my dad, he used to teach capoeira. And capoeira is basically mixed martial arts that came from Brazil, but what they would do is it's almost like a dance, but at the same time it's a martial art because they got kicks and you spar and stuff like that. So
probably the dude from Tekken.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Eddie Gordo, bro. My dad looks exactly like that, bro. And it's from capoeira and everything. Bro. It's funny. Anyway, yeah, bro. And so. It was a martial art from Brazil, and slaves used to practice it, like in secret, though. You know what I mean, from the slave master or whatever, to protect himself. I don't know the full story, but what I do know is he used to teach at ASU, and ASU did some budget cuts, and like that's when his class got taken from ASU. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all these budget cuts is kind of like messing with not even, it's just like the creativity too, and opportunity, you know what I mean? Like, people love this class. Like, even in martial arts now, it's like, martial arts, I think it's a real good thing, bro, because it helps you with the youth and their discipline and, you know, having something to go to and having people to talk to, kind of like community and stuff like that. And it's with older people too, because older people can like almost be a mentee to people, and also have peers that, you know, they don't just go to a bar with, they actually go, you know, here or there with, you know what I'm saying? Socialize with them, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, it's just because I'm only thinking about those two things, like football and whatever that got taken away by budget cuts. But what about the arts? You know what I'm saying? What about the music?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Other stuff that we don't even realize had been done away with, but, you know, it's slowly kind of disintegrating. But on the brighter side, I think that the internet's given us a way to, you know, learn those type of things and skills too. Like, I can pull up probably 30 different ways to draw, and people have either tutorials or classes for me to, you know, join to learn how to draw. I'm like, cool, you know what I'm saying? I like to, you know.
But see, that also could have been the cause of it. Because.
What do you mean?
So, you know how just like how easy it is to go look at it. Like, you know, people are like, why am I going to go to a class if I can just look it up online?
Right.
You know, that could have been the downfall. But that's unfortunate. I did not know that, you know, that whole football program was getting shut down.
Yeah, wow, man. I seen it. I was like, oh shoot.
Because you even have our public school teachers, you know, wanting to get pay raises and stuff. Granted, they've needed it for years now.
Bro, years.
All the stuff that they go through, it's honestly crazy.
I think, like, I don't know. I definitely think teachers should get paid more because they touch people's lives, bro, that they don't even realize, bro. Whether it's negative or positive, because I've heard stories that, you know, my counselor wanted me to. I'll tell this real quick. It's not much of a story, but it's an entrepreneur that I follow, and when he was in high school, he went to a decent high school, and, you know, when he told his counselor he wanted to get into Stanford or whatever, he kind of shunned him away from, you know, doing Stanford. And let's think about these colleges over here, because within the counselors in his school, like, they kind of had a system, not a system, but like a rate of grad people get into their schools that they want to get into, so they'll keep track of that. And so he had a high thing, because what he'd do is kind of downgrade what you want to be at, because some people will be kind of idealistic and some people not. But you know, that's how. But anyway, long story short, he wants to go to Stanford, but his counselor's like, you should do this. But he ends up, you know, his counselor ends up telling him that he's not going to get into Stanford. This and that.
I'm gonna accept this.
Okay, and then wait.
You want that dog out?
Yeah, and then so what happens is he ends up making it to Stanford, and that person had a big effect on his life. You know what I mean? That counselor. So even positive or negative, bro, because I've had teachers when I was real young that I remember. It's like, man, like, she really, you know what I mean? She, you know what I mean? Like, she felt me, you know what I mean? She knew who I was, and she helped me out when I needed help, type of stuff. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they put in a lot of effort too.
For sure.
Into their like it's their everyday thing. It's not, you know, it's not easy.
Oh,
it's definitely not.
Especially with a classroom full of raging
hormones.
I'm gonna do what I want. What you talking about?
So many egos, you know, all that
egos. Oh yeah. Especially, I mean, from the girls to the guys. The girls, they trying to, you know what I'm saying?
They're on the back too.
Yeah, it's like, bruh, like, I don't know how they do it, but hey, more power to them. You know what I'm saying? If you're a teacher out there, you're listening, hey, keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? You definitely making an impact on somebody's life. You feel me? So keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Whether you get the money or you don't, whether you get the bag or you gotta start your own business, do your thing. You know what I mean? So shoot.
They need to get like Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, Mr.
Anderson does real estate.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's big. Wow. You don't remember him wearing like all the polo? Like,
well, I remember the polo. I was just
saying the polo, man. No, that costs money.
Oh shit.
He buy stuff and resell it, because he used to talk to Chris's dad. They live like the same neighborhood, like right next to each other.
Oh, where?
And those two would always talk. Like, yeah, he's always buys houses, renovates them, and flips them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
especially in a growing area like here.
I talked to a guy at work who's like really like, bro, that's all he wants to talk about all day is just money and real estate. That's all he does.
Yeah, so
that's all he wants to talk about. He's like always talking about it.
Is he in the game right now? He's got some skin in the game? Or?
He's getting his money together. But the thing is, like, he's in a real good position. But I think he can make some money.
Yeah,
he goes to school right now. You know, he's studying stuff, but it's like he's like in there.
His mind's there.
You know, like literally 24/7.
Yeah.
And like I kind of just feed him like he starts with like little stuff. Like he's always trying to make money. Like he'll buy shoes and like resell it quick. Yeah. So every day I see him like, hey Sam, what's the sales report, bro? He's like, oh bro, I just sold this. I just put 11 listings up for this. And then he's like, he has a friend that's a realtor, and he's like trying to save a certain amount of money to put down in his first house, and like he already has like the back knowledge of it. Like he's like, all right, well, I'm not gonna have to put a big down payment because I'm a first time homeowner. I'm gonna live in this for a year. After I live in this for a year, I'm about to rent it out. I'm gonna be a landlord first, get enough money, start up another one. Like he has like this like. Now he already knows the whole backstory of it. He has like people that are really successful around him. Like he has like millionaires that he knows that he can like talk to about stuff. Like somebody he knows had money in on the like prepaid phones, and like back in the prepaid phones, and he got like 3 cents for every prepaid phone, which sounds like
well, that adds up.
Bro, he was making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a day.
What?
Off prepaid phones. That dude's a millionaire right now.
Bro, all that little stuff adds up.
I just didn't think there was that many prepaid phones.
Right.
Like
it's crazy. But it's still out there.
He has connections, but not where it's like, oh, I'm about to get this hands. He just connects like, hey, let me pick this. Like, I know this person's successful. I'm about to surround myself with people like that.
Yeah.
And I'm about to talk to them and see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
He's a big man.
I think that's the best way to do it too, bro. Because
I've been talking to him a lot too.
I think it all kind of boils down to kind of who you kind of surround yourself with.
Yeah, most definitely. I've been told that.
Because even in the football world, when I was coming up, like freshman year, I remember a lot of people didn't want to go to freshman year at champ camp, but I was like, hold on, I'm like with all these older people, you know what I'm saying? Older people out in the seniors and stuff like that. But I was like, okay, like these people are way better than me, you know what I mean? So I get to like, you know what I'm saying, be cool with them and learn how they move and learn you know, how they play and how they react in certain situations. So to me, it was just all learning experience. But, you know, some of the team didn't want to go or, you know.
I remember that.
But I went to champ camp all 4 years. And, you know, the only other person that went to pretty much the only other person that went to champ camp all 4 years.
Was he a fifth grade?
Yeah. Well, everybody was in. Actually, I think
we didn't go our freshman year.
Okay, yeah. It was me, Melvin, and Bradley.
Right.
And those are like, and for me, like, you know, me, Melvin, and Bradley, we're pretty much like the captains of the varsity team just off principle, because, you know what I'm saying, we've been there all the way through up. And normally, like, it's, you know, they call it seniority or whatever, but, you know, we worked for that spot. You know what I mean? That wasn't given to us, you know, in a sense. But, you know, I think it's all around like iron sharpens iron. I still, you know, have that quote in my head, of course, because it's like, you know, if you around a bunch of sharks, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna start acting like a shark. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna start like getting them shark senses in you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, snap! I smell some human blood or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just like
surround yourself with the right people.
Depending on what you want to do, though, it's like you know, some people aren't gonna surround themselves around the same people that another person is, just but depending on what they want out of life, you know, or lack of knowledge. They might not know that, you know, hanging out with, you know, certain people will, you know, lead you towards different ways, not in a super, like, not in a noticeable way, not in a super noticeable way, but on a super, like, subconscious, you know what I mean? Just other shit, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, I agree.
Life's a marathon, so, you know what I'm saying?
It sure is.
It's hard for me to even say that, and because for me, I'm like, the way I go about life is like, I don't even know, bro. It's just like, it's not a marathon. I don't have that marathon mentality within me right now. It's probably just because I'm hella young, but I try to put it in me just because I know all these people that's ahead of me in life, so to speak, because it's not really a race, but who have been through those journeys and been through those type of failures that, you know, they all kind of come up to the same conclusion. I'd be stupid not to, you know, to say otherwise. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, 100 people, like 99 people, go to the shoreline and say that there's no ships or whatever, and I'm over here acting like there's still ships over here.
Or like, you have like billions of people saying the Earth is round, and one person like, hey, no, it's flat.
Well, it's not really one person. It's like it's I mean, it's a whole host of people, but it's just
they got a whole cult that believe that.
I mean, people don't believe what they believe. You know what I mean?
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's all about who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
You just, everybody feeds off everybody. There's always going to be that one person that I guess, I wouldn't say shouldn't be there, but is not inspired by the others and they don't feed off of it. And so they kind of like just dwindle off.
Mm-hmm.
But, as long as you surround yourself, as long as you surround yourself with, I wouldn't even say the people that want to do the same thing, but like-minded.
Right.
Like-minded is the word. Like,
Yeah.
if you surround yourself with people like that, then, you gotta.
Right. And even from like this little book that I read too, is like 3 people is a mastermind. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to explain. I guess there's some type of like, synergy that comes with them 3 people getting into like going after like one idea or like, something to that effect, to where it's like it causes this kind of exponential growth and exponential like manifestation, if you will, for lack of better words, but like as in like going towards an idea or like, trying to grow a business or something like that. It's like, 3 heads are better than one type of thing. You feel me? So I don't know. It's just from a book that I got.
I need to start getting some reading more.
Napoleon Hill.
I don't read worth nothing.
It's enough for me, man.
I really don't read that. Well,
I read stuff that like not even entertains me, but just something that catches my mind. I've always been like that. I can't read
I can't do it, bro.
like English class. You're like, hey, read this book.
Yeah, you got me.
I think too, it's just like you can't like. Some people are like, oh, like I get it, like I understand that, like reading like gets you smarter, enhances your vocabulary, gets you like to see other people's ideas. But I just don't think, just like everybody learns different, that's not for me. I cannot sit down. I would rather watch a video of someone doing a lecture. I'd rather talk to someone, like say if you have an idea of something or you read a book and you willing to talk to me about it. I would much rather have a conversation about it. I am not going to read some stuff off the paper. I don't want to do. That's not how I learn. Me reading about it probably make me hate it more than I resent it.
And probably because you have that kind of negative connotation towards reading just from growing up in the school system.
Bro, I see that. I start reading, bro.
As bad as it sounds,
sleep. I want to see it.
As bad as it sounds, I guess I don't have the imagination to read. Like I don't have like you read something, everybody has his own idea, and it kind of makes I can't like. I just can't put words into my head and put out this pretty picture.
I feel like I can do that, but it's just, bro, I start reading, I start getting tired, and then like I can't get through it, and I don't want to be there, and it feels like as soon as I start reading, it feels like homework.
Okay.
It's not. Reading has never translated to me as fun. It's never translated to me as optional. Reading has always been a mandatory thing. And do this, do this, not. Hey, if you want to do this, it's never been like. I've never perceived it as like. I don't want to say fun. There's another word I'm trying to look for as like a curricular activity. It's never been like something you chose to do. It was like a hobby. It wasn't a hobby. Reading has never been a hobby in my perspective. It's always been an assignment.
Right.
So there's no part of me that has a positive correlation with reading.
Damn.
So I don't want to read.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know. Like, I don't want to read a book. If it's like a quick article, I'll read an article.
Yeah.
Okay, we get through this. But as soon as I start seeing
page article,
bro, once I start seeing pages,
that's the pages. Like,
because even
I'm ready to do 100,
bro,
50.
I don't do that.
And I have to be forced. Like, it has to be a homework assignment for me to do it. I don't know. I think it's just because how I grew up. I guess like
for sure.
Just with school, like you never read this.
I hate school.
It's like, I mean, I feel like people should hate school depending on what school they went to and how they kind of went through the schooling system. Because some people go to like art school and high school type of thing. Yeah. Like art school, hold on, my dude. Like you went to what? You went to what? I'm just like, that must have been dope.
I feel like that's part of perspective though. That's kind of like that. To me, that kind of sounds like, what is it? I'll talk real quick from on YouTube, but from either of you. If you're from Arizona and like Where do you always want to like live as a kid? To me, like if you hear somebody from California, like, oh, why you moved here from California? Like, why'd you come to Arizona? But
yeah, that's what
I'm just saying. There's like that positive correlation. So with that, I feel like if you have went through this type of school system, you're like, dang, you went through that kind of school system. Like, I've had this experience, so I want to be with that. If someone probably grew up in that and that's not really what they feel, they're like, damn, I wish I was in a regular school like you. I just want to be like a normal kid.
Right.
So it's all like perspective, like where you grew up,
right,
or like what you went through, because you're just gonna the grass is green on that side.
Yeah. You're gonna want the other thing. You're gonna want like what you can't have or what you didn't have.
For sure.
I get it.
That's how you think too. Like, I'm telling somebody to keep counting. What you doing here?
But that's real though. Like,
yeah, it's
100%. But then now I'm like, got too much to live.
Right.
I mean, bro,
traffic too.
Bro, one time I seen this TED talk on this dude who decided to stop driving. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. This dude didn't drive for like 15 years.
Where you walk everywhere?
Walk. No vehicles.
Oh man.
And what happened? Where do you live at?
He better not live right in the middle of the grocery store.
I think it's a really, you have to look at it. It's like a really good story. I can't remember. He was like really successful. Like he walked from like say California all the way to like some state across it. He literally walked across the country.
Oh wow.
Walking.
Wow.
And then he had like a really good job, and like he would walk to work every day. And like there's this, I forgot what it is. Like I can't remember what he did. Like his job, but it was like a really good backstory. Like it was like a really good result.
Like even us being human beings, bro. Like we have this super innate ability to walk really long distances, bro. Like. Well, everybody can, but
yeah, I'm just kidding. I know I can, but it's just like if I have the option to, I'm definitely not walking.
Well, I mean, this dude was no bus, no rides, no nothing. He was
That's
just
insane.
Walking.
Wow.
So I couldn't really ask myself to get to that point.
Yeah, I don't remember how he got across like water though. I think it was just nothing with a motor.
Okay.
So maybe he did use a bike, but it was like nothing. His whole thing was about pollution. I think. Like he wasn't trying to like
trying to get a statement.
Yeah, and he like got into it because something in his job field has to do with that. Like I want to say like marine biology or something. Okay. He was like it was impacting the environment. So his thing was kind of like, well, I can't like sit here and say like, oh, don't hurt the environment with me doing this. I'm kind of just doing the same thing. So I'm about to kind of talk and walk it.
Right.
So literally walk it.
Yeah.
And so then he would take boats, and I think he would only take boats that were like manual type boats. So it was like, and I think at one point like he was trying to get into a school. Yeah, bro. It was like there's a backstory. He got accepted to like some school. And he's a grown man. He got accepted to a school, and he had to walk all the way across the country, like get to the school just to go there. Bro, you have to.
He probably stayed there and all that.
I gotta leave about a week early in order to get to school on time.
Bro, he walked months across.
That's insane. I couldn't really convince myself to walk like if I had to walk to work, I would. But if I have my car there, like, look at this pollution. Let me walk to work. Let me save a little bit. I'm definitely gonna. Sorry, ozone layer. I'm gonna go ahead and bump this up.
But for me, I've actually started kind of walking a little more than I regularly would. Like we got a grocery store up the street, probably like Fry's up there on 6 on the where it's at. And yeah, so I walk there sometimes. Yeah, so I pick up groceries and
the one that's
by the T-Mobile up there. And
I know you used to
be the Steamer Shoes or something right there.
No, there's never Steamer Shoes.
No, I thought there was one on the corner on the. Anyway,
so it's Fry's, T-Mobile,
yeah,
and then
Walgreens,
yeah, and then the apartments. I used to live in those apartments.
Oh, where?
Yeah, when I was a kid, like,
told me that
when I was born to like before like kindergarten.
Okay.
It was like a couple years.
Yeah,
definitely no Steamer Shoes. You walk over there?
Yeah, bro. I get some couple groceries. And
bro, I remember one time we were here and we were like, bro, let's go get some food. Like, he was like, where you trying to go? McDonald's. It's like that direction.
Yeah.
I remember we got out to the street. I looked down, I was like, because in my mind, all those corners, for some reason, that corner, this corner, and like where McDonald's are like right next to each other in my head for some reason. I'm not from around here. Like, I haven't been over here in a long time. So all those next to each other. We got to the street. I looked down, I was like, how long do you think it is from here to McDonald's?
Probably at least a mile.
And I was like, yeah, That's a no.
At least a
No. I was like, no, that's just go check.
I walked like 6.5 miles. And
Wow.
that was probably the worst thing.
at a time.
Yeah, well, so here's what happened. So it was middle of the summer.
Ooh.
So we actually, all right. So it's me and Gio, and we're at my house. It's during the summer, so we had to go to football practice.
Yeah.
So from my house, all the way on the other side of the city, we had to take the bus from over there all the way to Lubin.
Mm-hmm.
And the bus at that time, it ended at a certain point.
Yeah, because it stopped going.
It stopped, and we were on Southern.
It stopped going to Chavez.
Well, Southern stops on 43rd.
I think it stopped on like a little bit before that. They didn't like where it turns into those houses.
You mean it on 27th, probably? No.
No, he's going east on. He's going west on Southern.
I'm headed to Lubin.
Are you? Yeah, west.
He's going west on
Southern.
Southern.
So.
No, yeah, west.
Yeah, so it didn't end on 43rd at that time. Like that bus thing wasn't there yet. So what happened was it like turned into like houses and stuff, and then they wrap all the way around back to 35th.
That's on.
The baseline one went to 43rd.
Yeah.
That one went to Chavez.
No, because I used to take the bus to Chris's house from 7th Street.
Mm-hmm.
I used to take that bus all the way to Chris's house, and it stops at 43rd. But I think there might be a bus before that stops sooner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So anyway, we get off like near like 35th Ave or like 40, somewhere around that general ballpark. And we had to walk all the way to Chavez. And as we're walking, it's the middle of the summer. It's like 125 degrees. I was wearing a little. I looked like I had a little Muslim in me. I was, had my shirt all wrapped around, blistered feet, and we walked by. And we're like, we see the school like down the street, like a whole mile and a half. We're like, man, I'm tired. Man, I feel like I already went to practice, man. Let's just go back to the house. So we walked all the way to 57th Ave and ended up skipping practice and going.
Y'all didn't go to practice that day?
Bro.
Wow.
Bad.
See, that's probably why I had classes after.
It was bad, man. It was hot.
I'm really trying to think. So I'm trying to get a good estimation of where you walked from.
It was like a little after that Sam's. You know where the Sam's is at on Southern?
35th?
It was a little after that.
So you went from 35th, from right there to Chavez?
No, we went all the way to Gio's house because it was already hot. So we went to 57th Ave.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the circumstances were different. Maybe you didn't have practice that day. No, you had practice?
Oh, I know for sure we had practice because we was already running late. But we walked from there because we were already hot and we didn't want to go to Chavez because we were like done.
So I'm saying you got off the bus on 35th Avenue basically.
Walked all the way to 57th.
Mm.
That was the longest I've ever walked, and I don't think I'll ever do that again.
I've walked.
Ever. I'll call it Uber. Now I have the opportunities to do that. They didn't have Uber back then.
I don't know if the longest I've walked. I walk a lot at work, bro. I think, especially if you're busy, you don't know. I remember I used to track my steps.
You'd be like, at 50
I do that too. Yeah, that was like 8 miles a day.
Yeah, but it don't feel like you're at work. It don't feel like you're at work.
Right.
It's because you're seeing different things, I guess, rather than walking down the street.
I honestly can't remember. I don't know the longest I walked, bro. It's not very far. I don't feel like I've never been in a circumstance where it's like, hey, dude, you about to walk all the way down here.
Yeah, I couldn't do it that I was doing.
It's like a couple miles, I think.
Yeah, I've walked. I mean, just to even clear my head, bro, I've walked a good while. I feel like I kind of need that just because I'm such an active person, bro. It's kind of like, it's almost like the opposite. Like if you're not an active person and then all of a sudden you get active, it's kind of like, whoa, like it kind of like, hold on, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But if you're like a super active person and you go from not being that active, then you're like, you're like kind of restless and you're just like, come on.
I see what you're saying.
Or like, my room. I'll close that door real quick. I'm in zone 6. I don't need to walk. Close my door. Don't come knocking.
Hey,
but no, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people do that.
That's really bothering me that I can't even think of a long distance I walk. I for sure walked from like Chavez.
Federico.
Yeah.
That's the longest.
Like Chavez, like
those walks are long
27th Avenue.
Yeah, that's a good walk. That's a
those walks are long though. From school to Federico's.
School's on
37, 39. Okay.
But that's a back of school at that though. So like, I mean a little bit basically. 39 to 27. That's not that far. It didn't feel far though. It was Gazelle like walking.
I said probably like close to 2 miles, maybe a mile and a half.
It wasn't. And then I'll walk. Like there's not many situations, and then after that, the next thing was like from a bus stop that's like basically on Rule. No, is that Rule or is that Mill? Basically Mill Ave to Arizona Mills, which is like a mile and a half.
Yeah, that's not that far.
But in the summertime, that's far.
Oh,
Yeah,
summertime.
Quadruple what you walking.
Or I remember like, because my mom would give me $2
Yeah.
for where for the bus. I'd have to get from ASU to Arizona Mills. $2. For a minute, I was $1 from Arizona Mills straight down Mill to baseline.
Okay.
And then so I was on Kyrene, basically it would turn down and be Kyrene. From Kyrene to Arizona Mills, another $1. Simple. Mm-hmm. After a while, they were like, "You're not in high school, bro. Like, you need to pay $2." So it was $2 straight down to baseline to Kyrene, and then Kyrene all the way down. So there's a lot of stuff to pass, bro. Let's go down. There's like a food city. You pass that. There's a Home Depot. Past that, you gotta go to the parking lot. Parking lot's big. Go to the parking lot. And dead summer, after school.
Were you growing out your beard at that moment?
I don't know. Probably not.
I would be like, I go to Tempe right here. I got my ID on me, sorry.
Honestly, the busing system in Arizona, or at least in Phoenix, has gotten a lot better, bro.
Has it?
Yeah,
I haven't taken a bus in years.
I haven't taken a bus since I got my car.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's like now they're running because they used to stop at like 11:30 or something like that, but now they don't stop buses till like 2:30 or 3, which is cool. But I mean, that's probably like the weekdays or whatever. But because back in the day, bro, like I forget what I was doing. I think it might have been a track meet or something that I needed to get the bus after the track meet. And then like I'd be scared, I'll fuck around, miss the one bus that comes, you know what I'm saying? Because I probably get out of the track meet probably like 8:30 in the last bus.
You should have just been coming to my house, to be honest. I don't think about it. We both had track.
True.
I
don't know. I'm you know, I'm hard-headed, bro. So you know what I'm saying? I'm real hard-headed. I've always been hard-headed. So, you know, I expect to get the lessons through the hard knocks, but still like I had to make sure, like, okay, that I don't miss the last bus, or else I'm gonna be asked out. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's gotten better, man.
I fell asleep on bus.
For real, I used to doze, but you gotta be a good dozer. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not.
Because I'm a light sleeper.
Nah, I'm that type of person who can't sleep. Like, even when I go on a plane ride, bro.
What?
I can't sleep.
Bruh, are you serious? I see the planes, I'll be knocked out.
I can't sleep on the plane. I can't sleep on a plane. I can't.
Can you sleep on a plane?
I've never been on a plane, so.
You never been on a plane?
I probably wouldn't either. I probably
You've never been on a plane, bro?
Never.
Wow, we gotta get you on a plane,
Bro,
bro.
it's not that good of an experience. I do not like
I don't want to experience turbulence.
Because sometimes even in the airport, you'll catch somebody, bro. You'll catch somebody like somebody famous or something like that. You could just chop it up with whatever. But even in the plane, bro, just
I mean, talking people on planes though.
It's an experience.
Like, I don't know, it's like social kind of like low key, like yeah. At first, you kind of like sitting there, you kind of sit down, and it takes one interaction. Usually, to me, it happens when the drinks come. You like, oh, kind of thank you, oh, like, and then you like, oh, and somebody's like, oh, where are you going? Like, oh, the perfect experience, right? Mm-hmm. So I was on a plane. I was heading back to Arizona from San Antonio. I'm sitting there, and this is the first experience with this, bro. Like, I had the armrest up, right, and I'm kind of like sitting there, and it's an old man and an old lady like sit down next to me. And like I had my headphones, I knew they were there, but like I didn't want that armrest to go down. Like they're little planes, especially if you go Southwest, they're little, right? The seats, right? So like I'm bigger than you, straight. So we're sitting there, and then my first encounter with these people is me not like I think she tried to talk to me, and I ignored her, put the armrest down. Yeah. Her husband reached over and just like slammed it down basically. And I was like, all right, cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But then later on, me and her ended up talking, and we were just like chopping it up like for like a minute, and then landed like a nice, like we were just talking about what I was doing, or what I'm into, or I'm going to school. She was talking about where she's from in Florida or something like that, and then talking about her home, where she was going, what she was doing in San Antonio, what she was doing in Arizona, like how I liked it in Arizona, like.
And that's the thing,
a random lady, just
lady. Like when I think I was on my way back from Texas, and I was on the bus, not the bus, the plane
They're small as a bus.
with like this couple that had a baby and all that. You know what I'm saying? The mom had the baby. You have the window seat, so there's 3 seats. So the mom and then the husband who was up before all that. So we're sitting there and we're just talking. They were from Detroit. I'm like, oh snap! So and they told me all this stuff how they're trying to get out of Detroit. And like, you know, we're on our way out to Arizona, so they're living now in Arizona because they have family out there and this and that. And how Detroit's like, you know, kind of like, you know, because they're from South. I think it was from the South. Well, wherever the ghetto part's at, that's
I'm trying to get to
Detroit as a whole, bro.
I'm trying to get to the shelter.
So, you know, there was just chop it up. I mean, and that's the thing too. When you're on an airplane, you guys don't know each other. You know what I'm saying? The person you're sitting next to. So it doesn't hurt me, or even it might even just help me just to tell you, you know what I'm saying, what I'm up to. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what you're up to. You know what I mean? You might be an entrepreneur that might be in the same business as me, except for we're in different parts. But yeah, if we connect, then we become like a bigger, you know what I mean? It's like little stuff like that.
You know what's crazy about that though? But it's not the same on a bus. I ain't trying to talk to nobody.
Right.
Because
I think it's because they're like
same,
like they're in the same area. So I mean, you don't really got like.
Now I was just saying this because I felt like, I mean, you on a plane, there's a certain type of person who's on a plane. I mean, you have to pay X amount of money to get on a plane.
True.
You can get a crackhead on a bus.
Right.
I ain't trying to talk to no crackhead. That's why you don't know how crazy a person is on a bus.
Right.
Anybody can get crazy on a bus. I see a plane too, but on a bus,
Real talk.
crackheads.
Real
I ain't trying to talk to nobody. They be smell like shit.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do it. But on a plane, it's like, it's kind of social. Like, I mean, you here, I'm here, we both headed to the same spot. You know where they're headed. Like, there's something to talk about.
Yeah.
Bus is crazy, man. I see some dude get slept and robbed at the same time.
What? Bus?
On the bus.
Ooh.
So you guys know how, like, you know, there's obviously that front entrance and then there's that middle leave, right?
Yeah.
And then there's 2 chairs. There's a row of 2 chairs. You got the two seats, and then a long.
Yeah.
So this dude's walking out from the back where I was at, and there's a dude sitting in the second row, I guess furthest away from the door.
Mm-hmm.
This dude walks up, getting ready to leave. As soon as the bus door is open, he turns. This dude had nothing in his hand. Went and hit the dude in the face, snatched whatever he had, took it. That boy walked out with a comb and a phone.
Oh, comb and a phone?
Like a brush. I'm talking about like a brush to get you some waves. He walked out with a brush and a phone and legit. And that dude was slumped. Like, and I was like,
and one smooth motion.
One smooth motion. Just whoop. And I had to wait for the police to come. I was like, dog, I'm late to school.
Oh, because the bus driver had to stop the bus.
Yeah, I was like,
damn,
I'm late to school. It's like I'm already running late.
I
I asked the cop, can you take me to school? He's like, no, we need witnesses.
I'll be a witness if you take me to
I
school.
was like, dog, just take me to school, man. Like, give me an excuse. Like, come on, man. This ain't even an excuse.
I'm like, write me a statement. I could be late.
But yeah, buses are crazy, man. You don't know who you walking in on.
But on other planes, I don't like flying, bro.
Why not?
Have you ever?
Actually, before I get to that, let me ask you this: do you like roller coasters?
See, I barely conquered my fear last year.
Heights
of
or
roller coasters.
Okay, so you probably won't like a plane. Go ahead.
I don't think it's anything like a roller coaster.
I do, especially in the first one.
Literally only when you take off.
That's the funnest part.
You ever like you know you go on a roller coaster, you hit that part where you go up, bro. That's less than a minute of that, and then it's over.
But that's the funnest part for you, bro.
Anyway,
go ahead.
I do not like flying.
I like being crammed.
Why don't you like flying?
Do you have your phone alone?
Yeah, fly all the time.
That's what I don't like. It's boring.
Well, you don't. Go ahead.
I like we said, you can talk to people, but I don't always want to talk to people. I'm very like you probably don't want to talk to me. But if somebody talks to me first, I'll talk. But anyway, bro, like my flight's be 2 hours. First of all, you gotta get to the airport. You go to the airport, like let me walk you through that.
I get.
I know you gotta get there like an hour before.
Bro, get there. I'll be getting there way before that because I'm a super on time person.
Yeah.
So you get there, you check in your bags, you go wait. So until you get there an hour early, sometimes you get to the TSA quick. I usually have about an hour and a half wait before my flight. Wait an hour and a half. Then even when they start boarding, say if you're boarding B or C, you gotta let everybody board ahead of you. Then you get in line, and then you get on, and then they make sure everybody's good, and then they start closing on the cabinets, and then they explain stuff to you, and then you finally you wait for them to actually depart, like everybody sit down, and they kind of waiting, and then you finally your plane finally starts moving, and then you're playing weights to even have it first turn, and then your plane starts going, you hit the little for 1 minute, and then you're good, and then you're sitting there. It's literally like you're not cramped, like you're not like this. It's just like you're sitting normal, but you don't have much leg room. You can't stand straight up. There's not much leg room, so you can't just like, man, I gotta take a piss real quick. I gotta get up. So every time you take a piss, you gotta get both of these people up. It's worse than movie theater. You have less space than that, right?
For sure.
I don't like
you have about that.
theaters.
You have that much space, and like if I don't want to talk, then it's like, what am I gonna do? Like for 2 hours, and then on top of that, repeat that whole process backwards when you're getting off. You're playing lands. I've had times where there's no gate open, so you gotta wait for a gate. And if it's summertime, yeah, you have AC, or your plane gets hot from sitting in the sun. It's just like there's too many cons.
Well, you do got AC. You got the little.
Yes, I said you have AC, but
okay.
I've flown dead summertime and it gets hot.
Yeah.
If your plane's just sitting there, sometimes they like, all right, we're gonna turn off the engine because like we're not going nowhere. It's hot.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many cons for me.
For me, I like airplanes, bro. Just because of the type of person I am, because I like new experiences and stuff like that. So with the plane, it's like each time you never know who you're sitting next to, and you never know what type of flight it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's going to be turbulence in the air, well, you can figure it out just based on the weather that you're going to and where you're from, where you're at. But it's like, I don't know. To me, it's like new experiences, and like just the energy in the airport. I kind of like that energy because it's like everybody's on the move, everybody's going, you know what I mean? Everybody's pushing to do their little thing. You know what I mean?
All I know is I'm impatient.
I'm impatient too, bro.
So like I'm not trying to wait for my bag. I'm not trying to wait for my ride.
But it saves you a lot of time though. Because depending on where you're going, you're cutting off like 2 or 3 hour time difference.
For drive?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely don't want to drive anywhere either. Oh yeah.
Right.
I just don't think I like traveling too much. Like I like traveling, like the act of actually being somewhere else. I don't like travel.
Okay.
Like the other day we were talking about like, oh, if you had a passport, which I used to have a passport, I showed you.
Yeah.
Like, where would you go? And I'm like, bro, I don't think I would go too far because I don't want to sit in a plane. Like people go, oh, I went to Japan. Bro, things be like a day flight, like 24 hours. I do not
so many stops.
No. Even though I heard international planes are different. I heard they're bigger and like roomier and stuff, but I don't think I can do it.
Right.
Like I'm the type of person. Like remember when we went to that trip on the bus to California?
Yeah.
So I didn't sleep that whole time.
You didn't?
I didn't sleep. So we didn't sleep much that night anyway. So we woke up. We were sleep 2 hours.
Yeah.
Went to the mall. I didn't sleep. Got on the bus. All the whole drive to California. I didn't sleep. Got to California.
Wow.
Went to Disneyland. Didn't sleep. Got back to the hotel. Didn't sleep. Went to the California Adventures, and I passed out because I was like literally sleep deprived because I never had a chance to sleep. I need a bed. I need to like somewhere to lay down. I can't be sitting in a chair. People looking around me, looking at my mouth open. I'm drooling on myself. I'm like too much is going through my mind.
Okay.
So back to my point about traveling alone. I think say me and Krista going, so I'm probably straight.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm with somebody, I'm good. I have someone to talk to like constantly. I don't have to worry about like, oh, like it says, what if the person next to you don't want to talk or like or they're not interesting? Like I need someone. If I could go with someone all the time, I could probably survive it, bro. But every time I've flown, I've only flown with somebody else once. Every other flight is I'm by myself.
Wow. Okay.
Every time, and waiting for the plane by yourself, waiting for your bags by yourself, on the plane by yourself.
Trying to figure out where you got to go next
by yourself.
Yeah, I can't be by myself. I mean, I'm very social. I don't mind talking to people, but it's like you said, like if there's those people that don't want to talk to you, it's like you're kind of you're cut off at that point. You just be sitting there by yourself.
Because I was like,
bro, we gotta get you on the plane, man. We gotta get you on the plane.
I told myself the only time that I'm gonna fly is if something is longer than 6.5 hours.
Oh, really?
Because I drove to Colorado. That's a 12-hour drive. I will never ever do that again. Ever. I drove straight 12 hours. I drove straight 12 hours. I would never do that again. Dog, the longest ride of my life. And I was just like going through Utah.
Wait, how old were you? How long was this?
I think it was like 20. I was 21 yet. But man, it was a drag, man. Going through Utah. Utah was nice. I will say Utah was nice, but I was just like, man, I can't do this. Like, I'm bored. Like, I'm stuck right here. Like, I took like 3 stops, and that was it. It was all just for gas. But yeah, I told myself, it's longer than 6 hours. I'm gonna fly there. I'll see you guys.
Wait,
there.
why? But why wouldn't you get on the plane just for like a little 2 hour flight or an hour flight? Like,
I will. Whatever that 6 hour drive is, I will.
No, I'm saying.
You're talking about like that 6 hour drive. Why don't I just fly there?
No. I'm talking about what if there's a drive that's not 6 hours?
He's saying like, why won't you just fly like Vegas? Vegas is like,
Oh, I'm driving to Vegas. I love driving.
No, this question is, why won't you just fly there?
Yeah.
Because I enjoy the ride. Like, I like driving. I love driving. But like I said, if it's only 6 hours, I'm driving. I don't know. I just like seeing all the different things when I'm driving because in a plane, I mean, you're obviously just looking at the ground. You see, like,
you see what the world really is.
You see what landscapes and stuff.
Yeah,
and
it looks crazy.
I like seeing like ground things because you can like actually see those. Like whenever I'm driving to Vegas, for example, I see the Hoover Dam all the time.
Yeah.
And like some people don't get to see that.
Four Corners.
Yeah, some people don't even get to see all that stuff. And I like going through Kingman, Arizona. I like going through all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the experience, but like plane that's a whole different ballgame.
Right.
You see landscapes of stuff. You could like, for instance, if you drove over the Grand Canyon, you could see the whole Grand Canyon. Yeah, see like that. Like that doesn't appeal to me as much as like driving does.
I mean, I don't think anybody flies for like nobody like I'm about to fly something like see. So I definitely see like weird shit. I want to drive because I like seeing stuff. But flying is nothing about like trying to see anything.
Yeah. So that's
shit.
why I'll choose driving over flying if it's less than 6 hours. Just because,
like the car,
and plus, that looks nice, but that's the same thing. You're seeing the same thing the whole time.
Yeah.
When you're driving, it's different stuff. But I've never drove by myself. I've always had somebody with me.
Oh, okay.
So those long distances, I've always had somebody to talk to. So it'd be different if I was by myself. Yeah. I can almost guarantee that I'd probably consider flying. But
you know who makes them trips crazy, bro? That dude Cody, bro. Really? Driving. He be going from here to LA like that. I'm just like, bro, how you do it? Because he does it by himself. So it's like 5-6 hours from here to LA, something like that.
Oh, he needs good music.
Yeah, he got
probably every time I drive far, I'm all singing the whole time.
Bro.
Yeah, I guess it kind of gives me something to do, and it's something I like doing. Granted, I have a terrible voice, and I'm horrible at singing. I still do it because I feel good when I do it.
Speaking of singing, the little bar at the spot got a little karaoke spot tonight.
Do they?
Got the karaoke tonight popping, yeah.
Oh, it's popping. You been there before?
It don't be popping, but like only
Rice Krispie popping.
Yeah, it ain't no pop rocks, but hey.
Oh, like little 2% little.
Shoot, but normally on karaoke nights it gets busy.
Is it a bar?
Yeah, it's a little bar right here. I walk over there, man. Like that's what's walking is cool. It's like it's where the Longhorns is at right here.
Yeah,
it's right across the street from the Longhorns, right there.
I don't care what nobody says. That's the best Longhorns.
Man,
I don't care what nobody says.
That's
the best Longhorns.
Have you had the one on Thomas?
The big one?
And 24th Street. That's a small one.
Thomas and 24th Street.
I gotta remember where it's at.
Nothing will change my mind, man. Even if it is better, I'll never say it. That one's better. I grew up on that one, bro. I've been eating this my whole life.
Bro.
I love Longhorns, but there's some that just don't make them good. But chicken wings not good right now.
Right.
I'll tell you that right now. Chicken wings.
One day I was gonna stop at Longhorn. One day somebody was like, "Oh, you can get like 50 wings," which I'm not gonna finish 50 wings. You get 50 wings for like $30. I was like, "Bro,
that's a
same words."
I was gonna go, and I was like, "Wait a minute, let me just like search up how much it actually." It was like $40 at $10 difference. I was like $10 and big difference. I was like, "No."
That's expensive though. Like you put it in that perspective, $40, $30.
Well,
it's almost $1 a wing.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
You ever seen that meme where it's like $10? Like okay, so you buy like this microphone, it's like $10, but $5 shipping. And you're like, nah, but $15 is like, all right, yeah, like $15 free shipping.
Straight.
You're like, oh no, that's a deal.
Or you see more digits get added in there.
Go
I'll be okay. I'll find it somewhere else for free shipping.
Free shipping. That's crazy. That's a mind trick.
It is. Man, that is crazy. But
I think I was trying to talk to Mike about something one time. I think it was like, I mean, it might have been you. I think we might have talked about this already. It was we did Pete's.
Pete's.
Like, it's hard to talk about Pete's.
Yeah, it's hard to describe Pete's to somebody
who's not
from here.
Because like honestly, if we like to be real, Pete's ain't like
it's not the greatest.
It ain't the greatest. It's just like something you grow up on.
Yeah,
it's just
it's one of those home.
It's an Arizona staple.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you be from Arizona, you know what Pete's is.
You can't hype it up either. You can't be like, oh, bro, you definitely gotta go to Pete's. Like it's not something that I'm gonna tell somebody that.
Yeah,
because it's not that great.
I just like, man, if you could like, you can make it over there. It's cool. Like, I fuck with Pete's. And you know what's funny too with Pete's? I don't eat fish.
Yeah, you get the burgers
every time.
I think you got the burger.
Chicken.
Chicken
fillet sandwich every time.
Because I mean, the sauce with the fish batter that they got going on right there. I mean, the sauce like.
I mean,
it's that combo. The fish. Hey, you know who worked? Or the last time I seen him used to work over there at the first piece right here on Glendale. Nah, it was y'all remember Trinidad? Trinidad played on the football team. Yeah. He used to work over there. He still might work over there. He threw me a couple little extra little something. He did.
Why does I recognize that name, bro? I've never heard that name so much. I did not put a face.
He's in a younger class. He didn't really, because honestly, his face wasn't. He didn't have no like predominant facial features that you could kind of.
Bro, the name is so.
Trinidad. He was big. He was like a lineman. He was a little bigger.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how to describe
Mexican. Like he was kind of on the light skin, like lighter tone skin.
I don't know how you describe it.
I don't know. I definitely recognize the name though.
I got a football picture.
You know what's crazy though? My dad and his dad were actually best friends growing up.
Sure.
And I didn't know that. Like I used to hang out with him when we were kids all the time, and his older brother. I don't know if you guys ever met him, Arturo. His brother, the Trinidad's brother.
He was on ROTC.
Yeah. So his older brother had recognized me and was like,
he dated somebody from RTC. Who did he date again, Arturo? He dated somebody in RTC.
He dated Ali.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's my bad. My bad, though.
No, I like how you guys shoot that up. But anyway, yeah. So he knew. He's like, hey, is your dad Sergio? I was like, yeah. He's like, you don't remember me? And then he showed me a picture of his dad. I was like, man, dude. I was like, how's your dad doing? Because my the past is the past or whatever. And I was like, dude, how's your dad doing? And we start chopping it up, and it's just crazy that how small everything is. It's like. Even with Saul, I played soccer with him when I was a kid. It's just crazy, like how small the world is when you meet people like that. Like,
Speaking of a small world, when I was a little kid, like when I was like 6 years old, something like that. I think I was 5, about to be 6. One of my friends, like his dad came to the school to pick him up, and I was just hanging out with him or whatever. And his dad gave me this flyer for football or whatever. I was like, oh, what? And I was hyped. I brought it back to the house. And then, like I said, I guess I said I wanted to play football. I don't even really remember that much. I just remember his dad was a huge Cowboys fan, and they were a Cowboys fan. And so, I was like, yeah, bro. Like, he passed me the flyer. And then we ended up filling out the flyer or doing all this other stuff. And come to find out, my first football team was the Chiefs, right? My mom's friend in high school, because they went to Independence, my mom's friend in high school, bro, they was the head coach of the football team that I was just going on. And then that's when more of the Independence family kind of came out, because one of my mom's friend's son played on the team too. And then that's how me and my boy Derek got close and all this. And I mean, it's a small world, but I think it's.
Quick question: is Independence in Glendale?
Yeah, it's right
down the street.
Is it always high school?
No, Glendale High School.
Glendale,
and then you have Maryville, Alhambra.
Oh, I think Kellis is Avondale. I don't know. Alhambra, Maryville, yep. I was supposed to go there.
Or is that?
No, Cortez is Glendale.
There's a lot of Glendale school, bro.
Independence. I was supposed to go to Independence. I got my letter from my high school or whatever for Independence, you know what I'm saying? But
district.
But you understand how it's not the south side with it, you know what I mean?
And how close is those apartments you were talking about right there at that Friday? How close is Glendale to Independence compared to that, right? Glendale's closer, right?
Yeah, Glendale's closer. Because Glendale's just Just
like on the other side,
yeah.
Yeah, like my brother used to like he went to Glendale for a little bit. There's some family he didn't really mess with there, and he was like, yeah. So he just like took a whole scenic route just to go to Independence. Like he'd have to walk through this big dirt field. Like I don't know if it's still there. Right next to that apartment complex used to be a field, a huge field, and he'd have to walk straight through that, go through all this stuff just to get to Independence because he didn't want to go to Glendale.
That's crazy.
I had a lot of family who went to Independence.
Yeah.
Or so there's another school here, Mike. Is Trevor Brown. Trevor Brown's just down the street.
Oh man, I remember with 82-0 them.
Was it that much?
Yeah.
It was 82-0.
Dang, bro.
Every time I hear Trevor Brown, I think about the crap field and
Oh, bro, their field is so
I hate
shit.
that field.
Their field
they
is
had
so
that
shit.
dip in the middle.
Bro, it's like, no, it wasn't a dip, it was like an arc. Yeah, it was like an arc. Yeah.
I remember there, I think when he meant the dip, it's because it was a bowl almost. Like you had to walk
into
down.
yeah.
There was a dip.
Yeah, the canal was on the side and like everything like kind of just went inward.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was. And then we have a couple track meets over there too.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
And
Wait, what about you? Remember that one track meet where it got rained out and we were all in the auditorium? Hey, that one was lit, bro.
I didn't even know they had a track there.
Yeah.
Remember, Zach Bowl punched me in the nuts that day.
Oh, which one is that?
You? Fat Zach?
Oh, Fat
I
Zach?
don't want to say that.
I mean, that's how we know him.
All right, go ahead.
That's his football. Well, that's the football name basically. Fat Zach, because there's always so many Zachs on the team. So it's like you got Fat Zach, and then we just call it Zach.
White Zach.
Yeah, White Zach. That's right.
That's funny. I'm trying to look. I feel like I have a picture on Instagram from like that day. I'll probably tell you
Oh,
exactly what
really?
day it is. I'm just interested now.
Bro, so check it. We're supposed to do this track me, right?
Yeah.
And probably like 10, 15 minutes before it actually like really starts, like they started getting like light showers. So like, okay, everybody into the auditorium, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna wait it out. And then it starts raining even harder, bro. It starts coming down. So we're like, all right, cool. Ain't nobody running today. We turning up. So everybody's eating their snacks that they brought. You know what I mean?
Orange peels.
Right, all that stuff. But anyway, all the like most of the sprinters and shit, you know, the sprinters are like, you know, like the hood dudes basically, you know what I'm saying? So we over there straight freestyling, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We get on camera, everybody's freestyling, and then we start dancing and turning it up. So it was fun, bro, because especially when you expect to run and then you don't run. Like for me, I didn't necessarily want to run just because I only did it to get faster for football, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still.
It was March 8th, 2013.
March 8th, 2013. Wow. That is a whole 5 years ago.
That's 5 years ago.
Crazy. Yeah, I have a picture on Instagram from that day.
Hey.
What the hell? That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, bro.
I didn't even think that long.
Exactly. That's why I think, bro, it's like, I'm always like, okay, I need to get on this. Like, if I have an idea or something like that, like, that's why I try to jump on my ideas real hard and shit, because it's like, I'm already gonna be, how do I explain it? It's like I'd rather be making moves than not making moves, because whether I make moves or not, life is still gonna go on.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Everything's gonna progress, but you in that case.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, I gotta make these moves. Cause plus when I make moves, it's like it helps other people to get more confident to make moves. You know what I'm saying? Cause here's the big thing with me, bro. It's like for me, I'm okay with looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with looking stupid. I'm okay with being embarrassed, because a lot of the times, bro, what comes from that after that is like better times. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like this. It's kind of like somebody's got to look ugly before they look good. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just growing. You know what I'm saying? It's just life. You just grow. You know? So I don't know. All I know is that. I don't know. I'm just trying to build and grow, build and build. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing. You feel me?
As long as you're progressing, you're learning.
I don't think anybody knows what they're doing, but they're just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, not in the sense of life and direction, but just in the sense of like, in the whole grand scheme of things.
Yeah. There's always different roads to that.
Yeah.
You just never know. But as long as you feel like you're progressing and, you know, you're getting better and better every day, you know.
Yeah, bro. I'm just like, but on that note, we're gonna leave the podcast there. Social media, you guys are.
No, I mean, just the only thing is I
Twitch.
do games. So if there is anybody who eventually watches this this podcast. I do a lot of gaming. I stream on Twitch. My handle is the Notorious Gamer _ I play anything from like Fortnite to Rainbow Six to Madden. I actually just started getting back into Madden. I had a little fiasco with that, of raging and stuff. I get so mad.
Hey, I gotta go.
But yeah, so I'm getting back into those games. So if you guys wanted to, definitely, I'd appreciate if you guys took the time and just check out my channel and stuff. There will be some funny stuff on there. Once I start doing face cams, you guys are able to see live reactions. But yeah, so just go ahead and follow me on there. And yeah, I stream about every Thursday or so. So once about every week.
So what was the handle? The Notorious?
Yeah, the Notorious Gamer _
The Notorious Gamer _ So get at my dude Mike, you know what I'm saying? Hey, he's got a personality, dog, like no other, all right? So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna check in with y'all. This is Locker Room Talk number 5. Love you guys. Peace.
Peace out, guys.
Dude.
I know number 5, right? But bro, I have some missing ones, but I just numbered whatever I had because a couple of them, I was experimenting with different. Oh yeah, I did.
Stop that one there.
Yeah.
Number 5, we out.